What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I finally cracked the code with eFootball. And what I mean by that is in every game, just like in real life with new football, if you go to a different team or you're trying to learn, the way a coach wants you to play, the way a team plays, right? You finally turn the corner, or as I call it, crack the code. And I finally did that with eFootball. So even though I was feeling out the game at first, as I'm kind of trial by fire, right? I'm in games, I'm doing well sometimes, outplaying the opponent, but then still getting beat and kind of feeling out the nuances of the game. And I realized that nothing in FC or UFL translated over as far as how to find success. It is an entirely different concept as far as the skill set goes to be good in eFootball. So even though I knew that, that's a lot of years, particularly with FC, whereas like with UFL, they essentially copied just the general feeling of the game that FC has. So it wasn't that hard to get used to. There's still things particular to UFL that aren't in FC without a doubt, but eFootball is absolutely unique. It has its very own skill set that you have to learn to have success. And I still have a lot of work to do, but I absolutely turned that corner and I understand it. And also, I can actually do it in game, not just know it, because knowing something and then performing it, right? Turning thoughts into action, words into action, it's two totally different things. And finally, on stream today, I was able to do it. And what I noticed is that I could actually call my passes out. If you go and look at the stream, it's the latest eFootball stream, right? If you go and watch that, you'll see that I start calling my passes out as the ball is coming. And that is the biggest difference that you have to get used to in eFootball. There is not a chance for you to receive the ball, start dribbling, and then kind of scan the field, right? Now, good players are always a step ahead anyway, but nonetheless, in eFootball, you not only have to have the field scanned, but you also have to have that pass pretty much already starting as you're receiving it. If you do not do that, especially a good opponent, but even just anybody that's going to hold down the X button, which is pressure, or the R1, which is AI assisted pressure, you're just going to get the ball stripped from you because you took too long. Now, there's still certain times where I try to maybe dribble when I shouldn't, just because that's a big difference. Like in FC, you can receive the ball, and the left stick dribbling, as they call it, will help you get out of a lot of situations where you're under pressure. In eFootball, there is no such thing as that. You can receive the ball definitely with some finesse on it, depending on which player you have with the right analog stick, but you still have to be proactive with knowing the pass ahead of time and pretty much having it ready. So what you've seen here, not only did I find the proper tactics, I had those previously, but then I took advantage of those tactics as well today, making great passing sequences, putting my players through on goal, and then choosing the right shots as well, knowing when to choose a stunning shot, which takes a little longer to power up, or knowing when to finesse, knowing when to just take a regular shot, getting the power right. All of these things, I finally turned the corner. But for you players who are starting out, the two foundational lessons I will say to bring into your eFootball journey as you're starting out, I'll give you one defensively, one attacking that really helped me. First off, on the attacking side, I've already pretty much been talking about, so I'll just speak to it in more detail. You need to have your next pass picked out as that pass is coming to your player. You can't receive it and then start scanning. So I play a pass, let's say from, Holland out wide to, let's say I'm going to the right side and it's Rafinha right now. I can't play the ball to Rafinha and then receive it and start looking around. Okay, who do I want to pass to? Right? I have to, as I'm playing that ball from Holland to Rafinha, I already have to know, all right, I'm going to trail to Balde, or I'm going to play that pass to my cam to Messi. And then as the ball is going to Messi, I already have to know, okay, next pass, going out wide left to Mbappe. And I know it's going to be a through ball. Or, nope, I'm going to play directly to Mbappe. All right, now to Holland, through ball, back to Mbappe, give and go. Also knowing when to hold L1, which is essentially a give and go, towards the goal. And then if you hold R1, your player will run across, horizontal. So all those details start to come, but the biggest thing is knowing the next pass before it arrives to your player's foot, okay? That is the biggest thing Once you learn to do that, you won't get stripped so much, and you will start having these beautiful passing sequences as you work towards goal. All right? So just knowing the pass ahead of time, and then as the ball's arriving to your player, you're already powering up to make that next pass. So instead of the ball coming to you, then you're powering up to pass, and guess what? Now the opponent's had time to pressure you with the overpowered defense, and boom, you got stripped. Now, without a doubt, the defense side is overpowered still, and I do not like that, but this is a way to counter it. As Galfano Gaming already told me, once you learn this, those teams who just go crazy and hold down X and R1, you'll be able to burn them as you learn these nuances of the game, and he was absolutely right. So going on to the next thing, right? Defensive side. Continuing on with what I just said. When you hold down the X button with the player you're controlling defensively, he will essentially become a heat-seeking missile. He'll get a speed boost and run straight at the player. He doesn't worry about angles or anything like that. He just takes the most direct route to the player with the ball. And you can win, a lot of tackles doing this, win the ball back this way. It's very powerful. But you absolutely have to time it. There's skill with it. If you just hold it down, you will get burnt more times than not. The next thing you have to do is know when to hold your R1. If you just hold AI assistance, that player will do the same thing essentially. The AI will just dart, whoever it is, when you're pressing R1, will just dart straight at the opponent with the ball, and they will be able to pass around you. No different than what I just said about holding the X pressure button. The only difference is when you hold X, the player you're controlling goes straight for the player with the ball. When you hold R1, you have an AI controlled teammate going after the ball. So the biggest thing to learn defensively is to be patient and time when you're going to pressure and when you're going to use your AI assistance, because if you just hold them down, you will get burnt. Also, player switching. So what I learned to do today, I would player switch either towards the ball or away from the ball, depending on, where the opponent was at. Say I player switched away from the ball, I would make sure my defenders are in the right areas. I would anticipate the next pass. And then when I saw that I could use my AI assistance to go at the player and have a good chance to win the ball, boom. Then I hit R1. The opponent gets caught off guard. I strip the ball from him. Now I'm in the attack. Or if I saw an opportunity where I could close the player down, right, I'd switch towards the defender near the player with the ball. I'd be patient. And then when I saw, I have a great opportunity to win the ball, boom, now I hold X. If you just hold them and your player goes darting at the opponent, they'll see that. They'll see where your player, left a huge gap, and they will dice you up all day. So, just to reiterate, offensively, have your next pass picked out ahead of time, and defensively, be smart about when you use your pressure and your AI-assisted pressure. Do not just hold them down haphazardly. Now get after it and go dominate eFootball.